Welcome to Inside the Studio, KFIZ at 100. Conversations with some of the station's biggest and brightest all-time personalities. I'm your host, former KFIZ Program Director Sean Kaiser. This episode looks at the career of former morning show host and station manager Rob Cutter. After graduating high school from Winnebago Lutheran Academy, Rob attended a broadcasting school in Wausau. From there, he went south of the border to begin his first radio job.
I got my start in radio in the Freeport, Rockford, Illinois area. And then I had an opportunity to work a morning show in Casper, Wyoming at the country radio station in Casper. And this was back in the early 80s.
Rob would then bounce back and forth between Montana and Wyoming before coming home to Fondy in 1988.
After I spent my time in Billings, I heard that Joe Gazer was retiring. And so I sent my resume and my audition tape to KFIZ, and that's how we got back in Fond du Lac.
Rob admits it was a very tough task to take over for the legendary Joe Gazer.
Well, after 50 some odd years, Joe was doing that. I had some pretty big shoes to fill. But, we got through it. I had my own style. It wasn't Joe's style, but I had my own style. And
hosting the morning show in his hometown is something Rob really cherished.
I'm sure a lot of people were wondering, they go, my goodness sakes, look what happened to him. Having fun in high school and then buckling down and focusing on radio and trying to achieve at my craft, and it worked.
And he enjoyed working with people such as Jerry St. John and another legend, Ron Harvey.
Jerry and I got along. We had a great rapport together. I thought we did good on the radio together as a team. Ron Harvey was a joy to work with. Learned a lot from Ron. He just loved radio. He loved playing his big band records.
After leaving radio, Rob took to the friendly skies to work about 10 years for an airline before retiring and moving to Kansas City. In 2017, he'd face his toughest test in life, battling non-Hodgkin's lymphoma.
We did a lot of chemo and nothing was working. It got to the point where I had stage 5, and then we were in survival mode. And I spent weeks and months in the hospital as they were doing all these treatments on me.
His cancer would go into remission, but eventually resurfaced. Despite that setback, Rob continued to fight.
After more chemo, more hospital stays, we found a donor for a stem cell transplant. And my donor was from the UK, and we were almost a 100% match. She donated in the UK, and 12 hours later, I was getting those stem cells. They were infusing them into my body. After 10 days to 15 days, it took a hold, and I've been in remission now for over 2.5 years now.
Rob hopes in 2023 he can make the trip across the pond to meet up with his stem cell donor. With his heart and soul full of faith and gratitude, Rob now hosts a podcast called Legends of Faith.
Come up with a 2.5 or a 3.5 minute program on celebrities, on historical events, just tell about their story and how faith made them successful.
You can follow Rob Cutter's faith-filled adventures at his website, legendsoffaith.org. Thanks for joining us, and keep listening for more episodes of Inside the Studio, KFIZ at 100.